everybody back to a brand new video, and I'm actually really excited to make this one because we played a lot of games on this channel this year in 2023, but I really never went through and discussed what my least favorite, what my top games were for this year of 2023. And one thing that is blowing my mind, if you see here, all of these games within this little blue section right here are games that I have not played this year. Now, granted, there are some games that haven't come out yet. So Skull and Bones is one of those. I think there was like maybe 10 in here that haven't actually released yet, maybe a little less, but I want to start this off with Alan Wake 2. So there's masterpiece, great game, decent game, mediocre, underwhelming, will probably flop, my favorite, actual trash. So let's go with Alan Wake 2. So I am currently still playing that game. And as much as I like it, I think it's very unique. To me, Alan Wake 2 has been one of those games where it's fun to play it. I put it down and I don't necessarily care to pick it back up, which is why it's taking me so long. I just feel like although this game has a unique play style and a unique story, I just feel like throughout the entire game, you're kind of playing through the same kind of sequences. You know, the formula throughout the game is pretty much the exact same, which I know that's the case in a lot of games. But I personally, some people might give me some hate for this, but that's why this is my tier list. This is my own opinion. But I'm going to put this I'll put it at a great game. I think it deserves it. I don't think it's a masterpiece by any means, but I'm having fun with it. It's just not a game that I want to be done with and pick it up right away and play again. It's a decent game. It's okay. Next we have Assassin's Creed Mirage. I have only played this game for maybe 3 hours. I somewhat enjoyed it, but I think I'm just so burnt out on the Assassin's Creed formula. And yes, they did take it. They went back a few years and they made it a more simplistic, which I do like. I would put this at a decent game. I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it's mediocre. I don't think it's underwhelming, but overall, it's decent. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing that they haven't done before. The character to me, I know he was in the previous game, but the character to me is just okay. You know, he's just there. That's how I see him. Okay. Atomic Heart, I think, had a really good base. The environment was cool, but I got really sick and tired of the clunkiness of the game. The story to me in a lot of different places just didn't make sense, but that's also because I could have just been playing through it just to play through it. I don't want to say it's a mediocre. Well, the voice acting was bad. To me, like, I don't want to say even it was I'll put it a decent game. I'll put it that, because I wouldn't call it mediocre either, but it's definitely not a great, in my opinion. I know a lot of people loved it, which is totally fine, but I personally, this game just didn't do it for me for some reason. Next we have Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not going to say much about it because there's nothing else. Oh no, I lost it. I lost it in my wide array of games. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to put this at masterpiece. It deserves it. I only played maybe 4 hours total of this game, but the fact that you can replay it multiple different times over and you're going to get a different experience each time. You can have multiple friend groups, and again, kind of the same thing. Your friend group can experience something completely different than your other 10 groups of friends that you were playing with. I don't have that many friends to play this game with, but overall, it was great. I had a blast with it playing by myself for about 2 hours, and then I played it with a group of friends for another 2 hours separate. And both times were a complete blast. So I understand why it won Game of the Year. It was fun. It was a good one. Dead Island 2. I actually think that this game got a little more hate than it needed. I thought that this game was a great game. I think it did what it was supposed to do. It was a blast just killing zombies and completing some quests, crafting some cool weapons. I had a lot of fun with it, and I actually went back and I'm trying to get all the trophies for it, or at least I was. Sometimes I'll get on these long trophy grinds for like a month where I just try to get all the possible trophies. And I went back to it because I didn't finish all the side quests whenever I was doing my YouTube playthrough. And going back through it and just trying to get some trophies and interacting with all these different characters and personalities and playing with another player, it was a fun time. There wasn't really a time when playing Dead Island 2, where I was hating my life. Dead Space, yes, this is a remaster, but I think this game belongs as a masterpiece. This is my favorite horror game of all time, and them remaking this game from the ground up, giving Isaac a voice in the first game, adding some new little, sprinkling in some new things. I thought this game was incredible. The ambiance, the atmosphere, the voice acting, the sound effects were so creepy. I loved it. This, to me, they couldn't have done any better for the remake. Dredge. I think Dredge is a masterpiece. This is a complete addicting game that I really can't say that there is anything wrong with it. It's definitely a hard indie game, especially in the beginning when you're trying to figure out what your boat can and can't do, kind of stretching its limits. And if you die and you're not near a dock, or if you last docked in an unsafe place, I mean, you're kind of screwed. Your boat's taking damage, or you have too much in your boat, but you don't want to get rid of it because you need money to advance in the story. There's a lot of strategy behind such a simple game, but that was a masterpiece in my opinion. Final Fantasy 16. So this was the first Final Fantasy game that I actually beat, and some of you may be annoyed by that. Some of you may say whatever, but I thought that this was a great game. I wouldn't say it was a masterpiece. I think this game dragged on a lot, but I loved the combat. I loved the freaking 20-minute cutscenes that were like little mini movies or a TV episode. The voice acting was incredible. The music was just top notch. And I don't understand why this game got zero recognition during the Game Awards, because it was incredible. I loved it. It was so good. Forspoken. This game was actual trash. I let people have their opinions, but for 2023, horrible graphics on the PlayStation 5. And if you say that I'm wrong, anyone can make a good-looking environment. But at this point, with playing video games so long, I start to look at the hair details, the facial expressions. I look at the clothing, and the main character's hair. It looked like someone took a brush tool on hard and just like went over her hair. It looked bad. The voice acting was terrible. I hated the main character. She was negative throughout the entire game. She just wasn't a fun character to play as. She was almost very annoying throughout the entire game. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm going to put it a great game. Typically, whenever I first started to play this was a masterpiece. But as the game went on, there was still so much you couldn't do. There was no Hogwarts. You couldn't interact with the students at all. You were walking around killing everyone, doing the unforgivable curse, yet you had no repercussions to any of these things. There was no, it said choose your destiny. So when I heard that, or whenever I saw that on the trailers, I thought to myself, oh, so there's going to be some sort of scale, which you were bad and good. That was not the case at all. The butterbeer getting butterbeer, you don't actually see any butterbeer in a Hogwarts game. In the Wizarding World, they put a cup up to a little barrel and they press it, but you don't actually see any liquid going into the cup. You go into the Honeydukes, you can't actually buy candy. You just pick it up and walk out. There was no fun things you could buy from Fred and George's shop. They did a great job making it, which is why I'm putting it as a great game. But hopefully in maybe Hogwarts Legacy 2, they kind of extend that a little bit. Avatar, I would say that this is a decent game, kind of like Assassin's Creed. It's basically a Far Cry Primal, but just has the Avatar skin slapped on top of it. It's okay. I'm having fun with it as I'm streaming it. I mean, it really is a fun game, but I'm not going to sit here and say there should be a good game category, but decent, good, I think kind of the same thing. There's really not much else to say about it. The game looks beautiful. The characters look beautiful. The facial expressions look amazing. But besides that, it's a decent game. If you have, this is something that I don't think gamers take advantage of, and it really irritates me. So basically, Assassin's Creed Mirage, you get Uplay Plus on Xbox or PC or whatever, and you get that game for $15 and you get it for a month. Finish it, beat it, complete it, whatever. Especially if you don't want to pay that $70, $60 to play through a game just to be done with it. Get Ubisoft Plus. Same thing with Avatar. Even if I take 2 months to beat it, even if I take 3 months to beat it, it's still paying only $45 a month compared to paying $60, $70. So either way, saving some money there. Life of P, I absolutely love. I haven't finished this one yet. I have never really been a rogue-like player. I love progression, which I know there is progression in a game like this, but I love just continuously upgrading my character, which again, I know you do that in Life of Liza P. I wasn't expecting much from this game, but the environment, the time period, the boss fights, the enemies that you fight, I think are very, very unique. I had a lot of fun with this game, and I kind of want to... This is not a game that I would stream or play on YouTube just because I really don't have any experience with roguelikes, and I would just get pissed off because I keep dying and I'm playing in front of an audience. It's not an enjoyable experience to me in front of a camera. Spider-Man 2, masterpiece. They took the first game and just kicked it up a notch, but the story was great. Voice acting is great. The music was awesome. The villains that you got to fight against, always really cool. I don't want to say too much because it's still somewhat new, so I don't want to give anything away to you players that have not played it yet. But I cannot recommend Spider-Man 2 enough. This is my game of the year. I'm a huge superhero person. And yeah, it's so good. Planet of Lana. I thought that game was decent. It's a really cool little indie game. I don't really get into indie games that much. I really don't. I thought it was okay, but I say that about most indie games, that they're just okay. Nothing against them. You know, I love Ori and the Blind Forest. Child of Light is really good. There's an indie game on here that I actually think is really cool. Firewatch I thought was really good. What other indie games have I played? I've played a decent amount, but there are just so many indie games. That's the problem. There's a lot of subpar, mediocre indie games out there. Then there are those few that kind of break past the mold and kind of break themselves out of the indie game category and put themselves into a great game masterpiece category. But Resident Evil 4, this also, I have to put this as a... sorry. No. Well, while we have this here, I'm going to put Jedi actually at underwhelming. I expected Jedi Survivor to take what Fallen Order had and take it up a notch, but to me, I actually think Survivor brought it down. I thought the graphics in this game looked worse than Fallen Order. The story, I did not like the story. They didn't update the map. The map in Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order is dog shit. It is so hard to come back to this game months later and understand where to go. I get lost all the time. I don't think I'm alone on that. I think this game might have the shittiest map, or one of the shittiest maps in all of gaming history. I just did there's Resident Evil 4. I'm going to put that to a masterpiece. I never played Resident Evil 4, the original game, before playing this, but I played this game first, and then I went back and maybe played the first half of Resident Evil 4, and they truly took the original game, remastered it beautifully. I mean, they did the game as much justice as a remake can do. And with that, I'm gonna actually go straight into not Resident Evil, sorry, Last of Us Part 1. I think they did the same thing. Incredible game. I kind of want to play this on PC just to see how it plays. I know there was some issue on the PC version of this, but I don't care what anyone says. When I am totally fine with the game being remastered because it takes a game that I absolutely loved as a kid or as a teenager and it brings it to the current day and it gives it kind of I don't know what you want to call it, but it does it justice. As long as it does it justice, then I'm totally fine. But it brings it to the modern day for even newer players to enjoy because in reality, kids nowadays, for the most part, under 15 are not going back to play a game on the Nintendo 64 or PlayStation 1, 2, even 3. So seeing all of these games get remastered, I love it. I'll dig it. I don't care if you don't. I dig it. I will spend that $60 to play one of my favorite games in the modern day. Starfield. There was a lot of controversy behind this game. I do honestly think that Starfield is a great game. I think it got a lot of hate. I don't think people understand really what goes into game development. No one goes out trying to make a shitty game, and that's not why I'm saying this is a great game. But I can jump into this game at any point, play for 10 hours, 8 hours in a day, and still have a great time with it. Yeah, the shipbuilding is okay. The shipbuilding is cool. The planets are boring. Now, I don't think that the developers of this game should have came out and critiqued players' opinions of the game. Oh, well, when the astronauts went to Mars, or not to Mars, when they went to the moon, they weren't bored because there was nothing there. Comparing that to sitting at a desk and looking at a virtual world is not the fucking same thing as being up in space. It's not the same thing. Whether you think your game is equivalent to me walking out of my front door, getting in a spaceship and actually going to space compared to flying in a virtual ship, exploring a fake universe and worlds. If you think that's the same, you got other problems in life. But I think just overall, I still think that this was a great game. It goes with the Bethesda formula. Is it as compelling as a Skyrim or a Fallout? No, it's not. To me, Fallout and the Elder Scrolls are masterpieces, which is why I dropped this one down one notch. Even in Fallout, when you're going through an empty wasteland, just having your Pit-Boy play music, 1940s music in the background, you have a crazy enemy run at you. You have no idea what you're going to stumble upon. You could stumble upon a cave. What is on my microphone? There we go. You can stumble upon a weird cave, or if you're in Skyrim, a weird dungeon where you get in there and it's got a separate side quest for you, or it has this really rare piece of armor that's only found in this one cave. You just didn't feel that from Starfield. For some reason, they didn't take advantage of having all of these planets, which I said this from the beginning before the game was released. I would have rather them had 10 planets instead of 1,000 if these planets were more full of life and quest and things to really do. I got so tired of running into the same looking station out in the middle of this planet that had nothing in it. But either way, I still have a blast playing it. It's still a fun game, and I kind of want to get back in, stream it, and beat it because I still have not beat it yet. But I still have fun with it. That's my opinion. It's all right. Street Fighter 6, I'm going to put this at a decent game just because I understand it's Street Fighter, but I love more of the seriousness of Mortal Kombat and the realism. I'm not going to sit here and say Mortal Kombat's realistic, but it has a more realistic art style than Street Fighter. I couldn't deal with the style of Street Fighter 6. If you understand what I'm saying, the picture No, I can't take that. I didn't enjoy it. I played it for maybe an hour. I have one video on my YouTube channel of me playing it. I had fun in the process, but I think I had 2 or 3 videos that I didn't upload of Street Fighter 6 because I was like, man, this is just not the game for me. I think I've actually deleted 2 videos from my channel because I slowly just started to have less and less fun. But that's why I'm going to say it's decent, but I understand that there's a huge crowd behind Street Fighter. From what I hear, it's the best Street Fighter in years, but this makes me really sad to say. I'm going to put flop. I don't know why that just says possibly flop, possible flop, or whatever that said. Actually, no, because I didn't have any high hopes for this. Because I didn't know what The Expanse was, but for this to be a Telltale story in space, I was like, this is going to be incredible. But I really didn't enjoy it. I didn't have fun with it. I played the first 2 episodes on my channel. I probably won't play the other 2. To me, I didn't feel left like how I did with the Walking Dead series with Clementine and Lee. And even past season 1, the Walking Dead Telltale series had me hooked from season 1 to season 4. And this one just didn't really do anything for me. I didn't have that great of a time playing it. The Invincible. The Invincible, I think, is a pretty great game. It doesn't have the best reviews on Steam. But I truly had a blast playing it, and I'm probably going to upload, or not upload it, but maybe stream it, because typically I will play a game for an hour sometimes just to see if it's something I want to stream, especially if it's a game like this where I don't know much about it. So I did play an hour of this game, and I think it's really, really cool. The environment looks awesome. It's kind of like a mystery. What the hell is going on here? Kind of a game. Somewhat like Firewatch. Just hopefully the ending of The Invincible is not like the ending of Firewatch. But either way, I thought The Invincible was a really great game. But I think that's all that I have. There's a lot of games on here that I haven't played. I don't think I missed any. I'm pretty sure I haven't played any of these. I do want to play Hades 1 and 2. I still have yet to play those. I don't know if there's really any other games on here that I care to really play. Armored Core, I heard, is really, really good. Cocoon won Indie Game of the Year this year, I'm pretty sure. Wo Long has some interest. I want to play the new Silent Hill game when that comes out. I'm interested in Suicide Squad. I'm not putting these in actual trash. I'm just putting these in up here because that's games that I potentially want to play. That game was supposed to be coming out this year, so that's why it's on this list, but it ended up being pushed back. Yeah, man, I think that's really the only thing. I want to check out Forza because I have a guilty pleasure with Forza. The original. Forza Motorsports, not Horizon. Yeah, I think that's really it from what I'm looking that I want to play. But okay, guys, that is my tier list. I'm going to be making more of these. There's another one that has 350 games on it, and I would love to go through and make that multiple parts. Because it's like the best games up to 2023, so it goes back to the classics from, I don't even know. I haven't looked at the list yet, but it's like 350 games, which that's going to take multiple parts because, Jesus, this was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Either way, 20 games that I went through. And this took me 24 minutes, so 350 plus games. That's going to take me hours to get through. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. These to me are my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of the year. These were, I thought, just incredible games that really took it up a notch. It's hard for me to count these games as new releases. So if I had to pick my top 5 original games, it would definitely be, I'm going to put that down. It would be these 5 right here. God, it's hard because I'm gonna put that down there and put Final Fantasy because these are games that I really played this year. I'm not gonna put Baldur's Gate 3 up there because I really didn't play it that much. So these 5 games are my top 5 games of the year. This has been a great year for games. A lot of bad, a lot of good, but man, I thought this year was filled already, and this is the list of games I haven't played yet. And I thought that this year is filled with incredible games already. Then there's like 50 here that I haven't even played, man. Oh, so many games, so little time. Okay, guys, peace out. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next tier list video in the next one. Peace out.